Hello.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Good afternoon. How are all of you?
We are fine, thank you, teacher.
I am not the teacher. I am also a student.
Man, boss,
Sound like a teacher?
man, guy, you are full. You guy doesn't sound like a teacher.
We are going to start.
I'm sorry, teacher, you're
We're
breaking
going
up.
to start. See my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes,
We can see the screen.
teacher.
Okay. Have 8 hours, so really this. I don't know how to put this.
Can't hear you.
Excuse me, we can't hear you. Excuse me, teacher, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Guys, where is the teacher going?
Can everyone hear me?
Go on and stop.
Hi.
You guys,
Yes.
first of all, you guys, this is not the host. Isn't the host? The host is Matthew Mazi.
Oh,
Wait, I don't know who made
I
it.
am not
host
the
is-
host.
Who is the host?
The
The
host is
Matthew.
Solomon.
As if the teacher is not around.
The teacher has left.
Guys, who's the host?
Man, it is this Manzi guy.
Kyle, you be the teacher for now.
Okay,
Okay,
if
Yes,
you're
you
not
be
the
that
host,
teacher.
put up your hand.
Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, are you the host?
Wait,
You guys, can you all hear me?
I don't know.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we
All right.
can.
Yeah,
Are you the host?
Today we're gonna discuss about specialized cells.
just do what. Yeah.
Excuse me, are you the host?
Yes, Matthew. Okay, you guys.
Excuse me, teacher.
Let's start. Yes.
I do not understand if this is a joke or if it's real. Are you really the host? Or
No,
one
you get.
Are you
of
really
the
that
students
teacher?
playing a prank?
No, I'm saying that the host is a student. The host is a student.
Oh, God.
Someone made me the host.
Someone made Matthew the host.
I think you have to turn on your video for us to see.
Matthew.
I can't turn on my video for many reasons.
Guys, turn on your videos and see a beautiful president, handsome president.
You'll be the first to see.
No, why is Suzanne?
You guys, can you unmute?
Shall we start?
Yes, teacher. We can start.
Yes, we can start.
Yeah, I'm back. My network was disturbing a little bit. Okay, guys, let's start. Let me try sharing screen again and see.
Are you really the host? Excuse me, teacher.
Wait,
Are you really the
the host
host?
is back. He's back.
Mute your sound. I don't have power this side, so I'm using a different device, which is proving to be hard.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, please.
I'm not saying this to
All right.
sound rude or bad-mannered, but do you mind turning on your video to prove that you're actually the host, or is this another prank?
No, you can.
I will later.
This is the
Let me first
teacher.
try sharing.
This is the teacher.
Colleagues, we need to be
The teacher is around.
colleagues. Let's be orderly.
Host, can you please mute us all? Please mute them all, and then we can start afresh. Okay, let me try sharing again, and then we can see how to start. It's been hard this side. We've lost power for a long time.
I don't know why, colleagues, we are asking the teacher to share screen, yet he's the same teacher who has
My
been
screen.
teaching you from the start. We need to be orderly and be serious. Sad, take it easy.
Teacher, I can't hear you.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we are seeing it.
Yes, teacher.
We are seeing it.
Yes.
Screen, I was asking.
No.
We are seeing it.
Teacher, my screen is blank. I can't see anything.
Okay. Good. We'll talk about cells. And get to
We can't hear and see anything here.
Sorry about the teacher's network. I think today he has the worst network. I think I'm going to tell him to share the content, but we really need to be organized. We have to bear with network. We have no control. Anytime it will be you. So let's be orderly and we pray for the better. Did you hear me?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Not
We heard you.
really.
We heard.
I've heard you clear.
I think my network won't be able to sustain this lesson because it's on and off, and that is not good. Like I told you, power here is gone, so I can't use my usual device that I use normally. Okay. So let me try again. If it doesn't work this time, then I will just send out the notes and then send you an activity to work on. Yeah, okay. Can you guys hear me well?
Yes, teacher.
All right. Let me try one more time. If it doesn't work, then we'll continue from there next time. Can you guys see my screen?
No.
No.
We cannot.
Teacher, you were in a real chat.
Teacher, we cannot.
Teacher, we cannot hear you. We are not hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
We hear you, but we can't see you.
No, that is the student speaking. We need to differentiate the teacher's voice.
We can see your screen now.
Yes, teacher, now we can see your screen now.
Yeah, we can see your
Okay,
screen.
good. Alright, that's nice. So let's look at cells. We shall do whatever we can to just cover a few things, and then I'll send out the notes, and you can ask questions if it doesn't go as I planned. Anyway, it has already gone the way I did plan because of power problems. Okay. So you're welcome to this lesson. Once again, I'm Teacher Solomon. Those who are asking if I'm a teacher or not, yes, I am. I'm not a fellow student who is pranking you. I am very, very seriously going to teach you. Okay. So today we'll look at cells. And when we're looking at cells, we're just looking at those building blocks that organisms use, or that organisms are made up of. Okay. These building blocks are just like if you tear down your house at home, what would you find that makes up that house? Who can tell me? If you demolished your house, what would you find which makes it up? Yes, Isaac.
The bricks.
The bricks, okay? Yes, the bricks, the mortar, the concrete, those are sort of the building blocks that you'll find that are contained in your house, okay? Which is correct. So if those are the building blocks, what about in your body? In your body, what are those building blocks that make up your body?
Cells.
The cells, and that's what we are looking at today. Okay. So these tiny building blocks that make up your body, like we have said, are called cells. An example is right here. this diagram here. Yes, please. This diagram here, please. This diagram here shows a couple of cells as seen under a light microscope. Okay. And that shows the bricks that we were talking about that make up the body. Someone has left their volume on, so it is interfering me this side. Okay, I've muted them. So that is an example of how these blocks make up your body. Yes, Kyle, you have a question?
No, I thought you were asking us the examples of cells which make up our body.
No, not yet.
Sorry, I couldn't really hear you.
Okay. Now let's look at that, and then you tell me what type of cells they are. So I'll start with this one here. Can you see where I'm pointing? If you can't see, you can always zoom in, eh? You
I cannot see.
Just try.
Yes, we are seeing
Just
now.
zoom.
We are seeing. We can now see.
Okay. So what are these cells? Let me highlight there. Those ones I've highlighted with the red ink.
Blood cells.
Tell me what those are. Let me see. Yes or name?
Those are red blood cells.
Yes, these are red blood cells. That is correct. Good job. Let me highlight another one. This one here. These ones, they look like they are transmitting electricity. Who can tell me which one they are?
No.
Yes, Hope. Yes, Hope. Hope, you say?
Nervous
I didn't hear you. Yes, nervous cells. Okay, good job. And where can we find nervous cells?
In the body.
Excuse me, teacher.
Teacher is disconnected again. He's disconnected again.
Yeah, so
He's no longer.
I'm disconnected.
Yeah, he's. It looks like he's disconnected.
No, I'm still around. Am I disconnected?
No.
I can't hear you. We're not
No,
but I
Chair,
cannot hear
we have
you.
not disconnected.
We are not hearing you.
Okay. So I was asking, in what part of your body do we find the nervous cells?
In the nervous system.
You're breaking. You're breaking.
Which part
Yes,
of
the brain.
body do we find the nervous cells?
Teacher, the brain.
I chose a name. And then tell us.
In the nervous system.
Okay, the nervous system. Where else, Isaac?
The nerves.
In the nerves. Okay. Yes, also in the brain, whoever mentioned in the brain, that is correct. Let me also highlight another one and see. Let me use a different color. This one. These cells here. Those ones I've highlighted. They are green. The hint I have for you is that they are green. Please mute your
Brain
volume.
cells.
You have to raise up your hand to be able to speak.
So they are brain cells.
You have to raise your hand. Yes, Kai.
They are plant cells.
Yes, these are plant cells. Okay, so now we can see the green coloring matter in them, meaning the plant cells. Okay, good job. Now that we can identify some cells, that is good. Now, who can tell me the reason why we study cells? The reason why we study cells? Why would anyone start studying cells?
Teacher, to know more about our body.
Okay. Who else would like to try besides Kai? Yes, Matthew.
To know how the body functions.
To know how the body functions, that is correct. Isaac.
Explain how the way an organism gets its life.
Okay, that's good. Nadia.
To explain how an organism interacts with its environment.
Yes, to get to know how an organism interacts with its environment. Now, on this slide here, I have a certain type of cells. Okay, I have a certain type of cells. These cells are called stem cells. Now, stem cells are very, very special. The reason why I want to tell you about stem cells is because when we study cells, we get to know the way different organisms interact with each other and the way they interact with the environment. And then we get to know, in case of, if we want to discover some type of medicine, what can we use? Now, scientists have found ways of manipulating these types of cells, these stem cells, okay? They manipulate them in such a way that they can become any type of cell. So for example, if your nervous system is broken or it is no longer working well, and you are injected with these stem cells in that area, these stem cells grow into those nervous cells, okay? And as you can see here, right, they can grow into those nervous cells. And then if, for example, your heart is not working well, they inject into that area where your heart is not working well. Once they inject into that area, these cells become the heart cells. The heart cells, okay? Same thing with the blood vessels, or the red blood cells and the liver cells. So when you study cells, we get to discover such type of things, okay, which are very, very, very key. So that is another reason why we should study more about cells. We can get to discover such type of things. Okay. Now, as we continue, I want you to type in the chat box your contact and name. Make sure you write your name there and your phone number or email. Okay. As we continue, please do that. Kyle, do you have a question? Your hand is up. Kyle, do you have a question? Okay. We can continue if you guys don't have any questions. Is there anyone with a question? You can always raise your hand if you have a question. Raise your hand if you have a question. Okay, let's continue. If there is no one with a question, please, I'm reminding you, write your name and your contact in the chat box. Okay. All right. So the other thing we can talk about is viewing an animal cell under a microscope. So we see that animal cells or any other type of cells are very small to be viewed under a microscope. Okay. I mean, to be viewed with our own eyes. So to view them, we use a microscope. All right. When we view an animal cell under a light microscope, this is what we see. Okay. This is what we see. Carl, your hand is up. Are you asking a question?
Yes. I think that my app just stopped working and I had to restart it. Could you please repeat what you said in the last 1 minute?
Okay. I'm going to just summarize. I was just talking about these stem cells that they can grow into many types of cells. Okay. When someone is sick, they can inject them with these stem cells wherever they are sick, or if it is the nervous system, and then these stem cells grow into those nerve cells that are damaged. If it is the heart, they grow into those heart muscles. If it is the liver, same thing. Okay. So scientists are still carrying out more research about these stem cells to use them to treat such kind of diseases. That's what I was talking about when you freezed. Okay. So now we are talking about how to view an animal cell under a microscope. So this is it here. Once you're viewing an animal cell under a microscope, this is what you'll be able to see. You'll see a nucleus, which is right here. Okay, this is the nucleus. You'll see the nuclear membrane, it will be darker, okay, which is right there, that dark part. You see a vacuole, a small vacuole. Then you see the cytoplasm, of course, and then the mitochondria, okay? Sometimes you may not see the mitochondria. So all these parts, you can see them under a light microscope in a cell if you're viewing a cell. And we're going to look at some of their functions and see exactly what they do in the body or in that particular cell. Kyle, do you still have a question? Your hand is still up.
Yes, I do. Teacher, you explained all of the part of the cell, but what's this one right here?
Oh, I was trying to name the membrane, then I saw it will be cut off. So that is still the cell membrane.
Okay, thank you.
It's the cell membrane, and we shall see its function. That's a good question. All right. So these are the parts that we can see under a microscope. Okay. Let us now turn to see what their functions are. Okay. So functions of the part, we can start with the cell membrane. What do you think is the function of this cell membrane here? The cell membrane is the surrounding this. Okay, the surrounding of the cell. What do you think is its function? Ronald.
It controls entry and exit of substances.
Okay, controls entry and exit of substances. Good. Yes, Hannah.
It protects the inner parts of a cell.
Protects the inner parts of the cell. Good. Yes, Adonai.
It allows
Adonai.
substances to get into the cell.
Okay, that is very good. Nadia, do you have a different answer? Adonai, we can't hear you. Okay. Nadia, do you have a different one? Joshua, do you have a different one? Yes, Joshua.
It allows some substances to come in and some to come out of the cell. It allows some substances to come in and some to go out of the cell.
Yes, that's good. Okay, good job, all of you. I've tried to pick those who have not said anything yet, so good job. Yes.
Different answer, teacher.
You have? Okay, which one is that?
The cell membrane encloses the cell from the outside environment.
Okay, that is also true. It encloses the cell from the surrounding environment. Is there anyone who has a different answer? Is it different?
One. Yes.
Okay, tell us.
I think the cell membrane is the one that decides what goes in and what goes out of the cell.
Okay, yes, that is true. It is similar to very many answers that have been given in that direction, but good job. Okay, yes, those are the few functions of the cell membrane, allowing different material in and out of the cell. Please, if you want to say something, you raise your hand. You're disturbing my audio seriously, and my ears are really, really suffering. So if I mute you, don't mute back, okay? Don't unmute. I'm muting all of you who have your volumes unmuted. If you want to speak, you raise your hand so that you don't interfere when others are listening. I'm doing a great job in muting you and you're unmuting. Banang. Don't unmute. Stay muted until you raise your hand. Yes, Ronald.
It surrounds the inner and it has powers which allow exchange of substance within a cell.
Okay, that's good. Yes, Nadia.
It regulates the shape and strength of a cell.
Regulates the shape. That's good also. Okay, good job. Good job. Yeah, those are good functions of the cell membrane. Regulating shape, regulating what gets in and out, protecting the cell. Okay, those are functions of the cell membrane. As you can see here, we said it is thin. Okay, outer layer surrounding the contents of the cell. It allows substances to go in and some out of the cell. So plus all other functions that you have mentioned. Okay. Wow, that was loud. Okay. Make sure it knows the function of the cytoplasm. This. Yes, Nadia. Nadia.
It stores
Nadia,
waste
I can't hear you.
material.
Okay, I can hear you now. Nadia, pardon?
Site for cells activities like metabolic activities.
Okay, cell activities, good job. Yes, Hannah. Hannah.
It is a site of storage of food.
Okay, site for storage of
It
food.
is a site
Okay,
of
good job.
storage of food.
Good job. Yes, Jacob.
It is a medium for all chemical reactions in the cell.
Chemical reactions in the cell. Okay, good. Joshua, lastly.
It controls the activities that take place in a cell.
Okay, that's good, but doesn't necessarily control. It just allows, or is the surface where those reactions takes place. We shall see which part controls. Okay, good job. So yes, the cytoplasm is a site for all cellular reactions. They take place there in the cytoplasm. Okay, it can also be a space for food storage and things like that. But mainly we concentrate on its ability to allow metabolic processes to take place. Okay, good job, everyone. Hatima, you said what? Uthman, you have a question? Uthman, you have a question? You have to mute your volume, to unmute your volume to speak. Okay. We can continue. If you have a question, you can always type it in the chat box.
Yes.
Please, those who have not yet chat box.
I have a question.
Not to just, yes, ask.
I'm asking about the cell membrane.
Yes, what are you asking?
I'm asking about the cell membrane.
I can't hear you. You can type it in the chat box. I'll see it. Because we can't hear you at all. Valerie, Nadia, Uthman, share your contacts in the chat box. And very many others who haven't shared. We are very many, we are like 36. We all need to share our contacts and our names in the chat box. Okay, so we have a nucleus. The nucleus is right here. This dark spot here is the nucleus. Okay. Who can tell me the function of the nucleus? Who can tell me the function of the nucleus? Marion, go first, then Abdallah will go second, Claire third. Marion?
The nucleus controls all cell activities.
Controls cell activities, very correct. I said Claire second.
I had the same answer.
Okay, what about Abdallah? Did you have the same answer?
Yes.
Okay. Who has a different answer? Hope?
The nucleus controls various processes that go inside the cell.
Okay, that's the same answer, but good job. Phoenix 4010. Right. You should rename to your names. Rename your Zoom account. Okay. I guess you can't hear us, or you can't talk. We can't hear you. Is there anyone with a different answer, Ronald?
It controls all cell activities.
Okay, similar answer. Yes, Sanyu.
Teacher, I'm not sure, but instructions and information and how the activity should occur.
Okay, that is correct. Although you said you're not sure, but that's a correct answer. Storing the instructions that manage cell activities. Kyle, you have a different answer?
Yes, I think the cell nucleus is the brain of the cell. It controls everything that goes on in.
That's good. Similar answer. Onen, do you have a different one?
Yes, teacher. The cell nucleus is the one that stores the genetic material of the cell.
Okay, very good. Yours resembles that of Sanyu. Yes, so two main answers here. Like all of you have said, it controls all the cell processes. So it controls all the processes that take place in the cell. That's the first thing. The second one is that it stores the genetic material, or sometimes we just call that the instructions that manage cell activities. The genetic material is the DNA, if you've heard of DNA. Okay, so that's where we find it. That's where it is stored. Okay, so the nucleus does that too. Do you have a question? Those whose hands are still up. You guys have questions? Uthman, do you have a question? We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Okay, we can continue. Like I said, you can type your answers in the, your questions in the chat box. I'll see them. Also, those who have not written their contacts, make sure you write them in there. So that's the nucleus. We have looked at what it does, two main functions, storing the genetic material and controlling all activities in the cell. It is nicknamed the brain of the cell because of the fact that it controls those activities and also storing the genetic material. Like we said, the genetic material is the one that contains all instructions and information for those activities. Those activities or those information or instructions are stored in form of genes. So genes are those parts of the DNA that store that type of information. Okay, the spelling for genes is right there. So genes, what they do is those parts of the DNA that store instructions for the various activities in the cell. Okay, those are the genes. All right. Any questions so far? If you have a question, you can raise your hand. All right. We can continue. So we can look at viewing a plant cell under a light microscope, just like animal cells. Betty, you have a question? Betty, did you have a question? Okay. Let's continue. If you have a question, you can type it in the chat box if you're unable to speak. So for the plant cell, we have the following parts here. We have the chloroplast, the vacuole, cell wall. We also have a cell membrane, just like in animals, a nucleus, just like in animals, cytoplasm, just like in animals, and mitochondria, just like in animals. Okay. The ones that are different, let me circle them in red. The ones that are different are right there. Okay. Those are some of what are different. So let's talk about the functions of each of these. Okay. The red ones, because the yellow ones we have seen. Let's start with the chloroplast. What is the function of the chloroplast?
For all cell activity.
You have to raise your hand. Chloroplast, what is the function of chloroplast? They are green in color. Who can tell me the function? Hannah.
It is where photosynthesis takes place.
Okay, that is very, very correct. It is a site for photosynthesis. So where photosynthesis takes place. Is there anyone with a different answer? An answer that is different? Joshua, do you have a different answer?
Teacher, they trap sunlight used to carry out photosynthesis.
Okay, they trap sunlight used to carry out photosynthesis, which is correct. That's how they work. Okay, good job. Matthew, do you have a different answer? Your hand is up.
Yes. It is where chlorophyll is produced and stored.
Okay, storage of chlorophyll, that is correct also. Adonai. Yes, Adonai. Okay, Adonai can't mute their volume. So those are good functions of the chloroplast. Storage of chlorophyll, trapping sunlight, which is used for photosynthesis. Those are good. What about the vacuum? What is the function of the vacuum? Who knows? Function of the vacuum? Yes, Ronald.
It stores waste materials and useful substances such as minerals.
Okay, storage of
Stores
material.
waste materials and useful substances such as minerals.
Yes, we had you. That's good. Yes, Hope.
It stores food substances.
Food substances. That's good also. Jacob.
It stores cell sap.
Cell sap, which is good. Okay. Who has a different answer? Kyle?
My answer is not a different answer. I was going to say it is a storage for the nutrition for the plant.
It helps plants make their own food.
The sap of the cell wall.
It helps plants make their own food.
Yeah, it's photosynthesis, which is making their own food. Now we are.
Yes.
I think it's off. Excuse me, teacher.
I think it's off.
The teacher is having a poor network.
It's off. I think you're going.
I thought those guys would have generators since they're big.
Yeah, guys, let's go on. What is the function of the cell wall?
It offers protection to the cell organelles.
Meanwhile, thank you for the lesson. It's not that power is the one that is taking him off. We have no control over network and umeme. So everyone is working from his place. And I see the time for our lesson is almost done. We need to go to another class.
Okay. So what time is it ending?
At 4. At 4. Ends at 4. Ends at 4.
Yeah, the time for our lesson is up. Like the host said. So we will I will send out the notes. You go through them, and if you have questions, you can always ask in the WhatsApp group, and I'll answer them. But we had reached where I wanted us to reach. So well done. I'm very, very sorry for the disturbances with the power and network. Like the host said, I can't control that. I wish I could, but I can't.
Excuse me, teacher.
Bye.
Teacher
See you
Solomon.
Wait,
Teacher Solomon.
teacher.
Teacher Solomon.
Okay.
Yes, please.
One of the bright students here and very arrogant has said that you need to buy a generator. I think that student has attended today and has no discipline.
Buy a generator if they borrow me money.
Teacher, I said that I thought that the company would have a generator. I didn't say he should buy.
Okay. The company has everything. I told you all of us are working from home. So you need to understand.
At home.
You need to understand and have that kind of generalizing things. If a teacher tells you, here we are facing this, take it easy. The company has everything that supports all that. So if the teachers are working from home, you are also home. That's why you are not at school. But
Okay,
generally,
teacher.
we need to move on.